Hey, good morning everybody. Today we're going to talk about reproduction bodies. This is a Filipino body made by the MD Juan company that I attempted to put on, now let me come around here, that I attempted to put on this CJ5. And it's up in the air because I want to show you some underneath stuff, and then we'll go around why it's not fitting and what's going on with it. It's been a very difficult body to work with, and I'm going to show you some of the things that you're going to get when you order a body and it comes from the MD Juan company. This one specifically came from the Willys Overland company, and those are the guys that put all the holes in it for you, and they say if it comes from them it fits perfectly. And you know, I've heard sayings, takes longer to take it out of the crate than put it on the Jeep. Well, we're going to go over that and show you what's going on. So hang in there and we'll cover some topics on this. Okay guys, it's kind of a tricky area. These two things here are my lights, so don't get confused. That's not part of the chassis or anything. That's the clutch pedal you're looking at. Okay, when I first flopped this body on the chassis, I couldn't get, nope, there goes a light. I couldn't get the body to come over far enough for any of the holes to line up. So, and I still don't have this where the pedal will line up with the hole, and the body is not centered on the chassis. So I started hacking this away a little bit, taking the flange off. Basically, you need to take about a half of this hat channel out, and you got to take your toe board and release the welds and bang it over, and then your pedal will fit and your body will sit on. You know, the steering wouldn't line up, nothing lined up, and this is the culprit right here. Now when you get these bodies, like I say, from this particular company, and I'm not associated with the company, I'm not bashing the company or anything, I just want to show you when they prep these bodies, basically they flip the body over, they got a bare chassis, and they stick it on there and they drill the holes for the body mounts. The chassis doesn't have pedals in it, it doesn't have a transmission in it, doesn't have a transfer case in it, or an engine. This is a V6 Jeep, and not that that makes a difference, but they don't have any of those items in the frame, you know, when they're fitting. So this is the kind of stuff you're going to wind up with. You're going to make a mess out of this, but this is what has to happen. And that's just how it is. Now I got this up, I think you can see, I got some 1/2-inch plywood right in here. And that's a little bit higher. You know, the bodies just are up 1/4 inches, some rubber in between the mount and the frame, the frame and the body. So this is up 1/2 inch. It's up a little bit more than I like them, but I'm just trying to fit things. This is problem number one that you're going to have. I see this on a lot of Jeeps. When you talk to those guys, they're going to tell you they never heard of this problem before, and blah blah blah. It's just all just a bunch of crap. This is a problem. The holes are another problem. When I let the Jeep down, I'll show you what's going on there, but there's some problems. I just want you guys to be aware of this. This is why I don't have any, basically don't have any friends out there in the Jeep business, because I try and give you guys the facts. I try and give you the honest truth about what's happening with these things, and a lot of companies specifically don't like me, you know, and they'll tell you that right out. This company here I tried to talk to, customer was extremely unhappy, and they said, oh, you're being too meticulous, you know, we don't like the way you do your work, you're too meticulous. Well, this body came to me before, you know, the customer bought this before he gave it to me. So I got the project and it came delivered with this body. But anyway, they think I'm being too meticulous. You know, if you spend $4,500 on a body like this, you know, I don't know if you want it to look like crap or you don't want anything to line up, but that's the case with this guy. So there's problem number one. And I'm going to let the Jeep down now and we'll go over the rest of the problems. Okay guys, we've got an original hood here. And this is the next area I want to show you. This side fits pretty good. The body is out just a little bit, but I can shove the hood over. The radius of the hood, radius of the cowl match. Now I've had a reproduction hood on here, and I've had another original CJ5 hood on here. They all fit the same. Okay, this isn't terrible. I don't mind that. Basically, I made a cardboard template of the cowl. It fits good on that side. Okay, I've got a mark. We'll keep it at the seam. That fits the cowl real nice right there. Okay, now let's go over to the other side and I'll show you what's going on over there. Try and get some lights set up there. Okay, now we take our same template and we've got, it's a little bit different on this side. Okay, the cowl is not the same. It's hard for me to hold the camera in a template. But let me show you. Try and get around here. Let me show you what's going on here. Hope you guys can see this. You got about a finger. The hood is up and it's hanging over. You can see it's hanging way over. So this whole area right here is real low. And again, it's not even close to being right. And yet, look at the gap there. And this is as close as I can get the hood. The cowl is off so much right here. We're out. Right here, we're out about a ½ an inch. We're up about 3/8 of an inch. And again, the only response I got was, you're way too meticulous. It's just a Jeep, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't know. Like I say, nobody out in the Jeep world likes me because I'm giving you the facts. I'm sure they're going to get angry with this video. I don't mean any harm or disrespect to them at all, but they just don't know. The parts people out there selling parts and bodies, they're not in the trenches actually putting this stuff together. Let's put it that way. This is what I do all the time, every day. I'm doing something, and they just don't see this. And when I bring it up, basically, you know, it's too bad. They don't want to fix anything. The MD1 company doesn't want to fix anything. It's just a disaster. So that's the second problem that you're potentially going to have. Okay, I've got the floor plate out. And when you get a body, if you got a V6 Jeep, it's basically, you've got to make it work. The only body that they're making right now is the 4-cylinder. Okay, now I got this body up a ½ an inch everywhere, front, back, everywhere. We are sitting dead hard on this transfer case. Okay, the body's actually, you know, I rolled it up so to see how far it was. It's bad. We got to probably lift this up to let that free of the transfer case. Probably got to go another 3/4 of an inch. Okay, when you lift the body up, these holes are all in the wrong place. They put the holes in here. The pedals are way down here when you lift the body up to clear the transfer case. You do not want the transfer case hitting the body. It's going to give such a vibration. It's going to make a racket. Don't allow that to happen. Your floor plate isn't going to fit right if you start banging it up and stuff. And this has been a problem since day one. For 20 years, you know, I've been asking the Filipinos, their MD1 company, you need a deeper stamp. You need to bring your floors up higher. You have to stamp it a little bit deeper. And again, MD1 company doesn't like me either because, you know, they say they want to know what's wrong with these things, but every time I give them feedback, nothing happens. Okay, so that's another problem. Okay, now I know it's going to be hard to see, but the fit and finish right in here, I mean, it's horrible. They went at this with a very hard wheel grinder. It's terrible. Nothing is nice and radius. That's a sharp edge right there. When you paint something like that, it's going to stand out and it's going to look terrible. Okay, there's the dashboard laying in there. That's just another disaster. That's just, I'm using the original dash because that one's so bad. Let's go back over here. I think you can see this very sharp, hard line. Now this whole thing is either got to get welded and ground, which is tricky to do, or you got to lay some filler in there. The scratches are so deep in here and right around here. It's disgusting. Oops, we're dropping things. Hang in there. And as far as the holes lining up, or anything going on with that, everything is off. An entire hole. This is the one hole that worked out. You got one body hole that worked out. Everything else is not even close. So this is what you're going to get. I mean, when you look at the side of this thing, when you look at the side of this, I mean, we've got a bow in there. You know, if you put a straight edge from here to here, that'd be in 3/8 of an inch. The spot welds are a mess. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how awful the body is. Okay, they're actually getting worse. They're not getting better. They're actually getting worse. And the primer, although they can tell you that you could sand this and paint over it, I'm going to show you another MD wand body. This body here is so bad. These dies are so worn out. There's no correct edges on any of this. It looks like the Jeep has filler in it already when you buy it. When you buy the body. They're getting bad. There is another company out there making bodies now. They're coming in from India. They're fantastic. The CJ5s are not available yet, but the MBs and the GPWs and 2As and stuff like that, the panels are, you'd be amazed how nice they are. If anybody's thinking about a body, you contact me and I'll get you some information on the new bodies, which are 1,000 times better than these. And like I say, you talk to this company, they're going to send you the body, they're going to tell you scuff this primer up and paint over it. Well, I have another body. Like I say, this one's going back. I'm so disgusted with this body and the way they're basically treating me, telling me, you know, basically I don't know what I'm doing and I'm too meticulous and trying to do too nice a job on just a junky old Jeep. Well, they can have the body back. There's nothing I want to start working with. I don't want to try and fair this area in here and make the hood line up. I mean, this is just disgusting. So I'm going to open the hood next. I'm going to show you the fenders you get with these bodies. And a lot of people don't know, but I'm going to try and show you stuff so you understand what you're going to get if you decide you still want to go and buy an MD1 body. Okay, now on the fenders, I had to put the rods in from the body to the grill to really horse this grill around to get it to try and line up with the fenders. Okay, you can see the holes are basically on the outside here. All your mounting holes are right there. To get the grill where it needs to be, to make the hood look right, these all need to be welded up and moved back. Okay, on this other side, the holes are too far on the inside when I get the grill where I need it. So those need to be welded up and the holes drilled half a hole further out. Now when you look at this fender, this is what they give for CJ5 fenders. Okay, this is the passenger side fender. They've got the shape of a CJ on the outside. This is CJ5 outside looking fender. And then they took on the inside, now this is clearly a Jeepster fender inner. So they've got a CJ5 outer, they got a Jeepster inner. You can look at this from a mile away and say, wow, that's a reproduction fender. It's not even close to what it should be. But, you know, people are buying them and they're using them. It's not right. And I'm not saying, you know, if you're putting a reproduction body, I'm not saying you're trying to make an authentic restoration. But huge errors like that, I mean, they really just take away from it. This one's not terrible. It's not the right shape at all, but it's closer than the passenger side. So, like I say, this is all going to get recrated up. It's going back. It just is going to take too much. I don't want to put my name on it when this thing rolls out the door. And like I say, this is why, you know, this is why people don't really get along with me. Nobody wants to work with me on any these troubles here. They just want to keep selling the customer junk. And I hear it all the time from a lot of different companies. A lot of people are selling a lot of junky parts, and that's why I don't want the masses. You know, I don't want everybody to buy stuff from me or have work done or anything like that, because there's really basically just a handful of people that want to do things right and want to have, you know, an engine built right, or a transmission or transfer case or axles, or they want a nice paint job, or they want something like that, and they want to save an original body. Those are the people I'm looking for. And like I say, these guys here, they're just pumping out these bodies and they're telling everybody they fit, and this is what you're going to get. Some people are okay with it. Some people can look past the problems. I hate when the Jeep is sitting way off the ground and your linkages don't work out right, your pedals are not right. It just leads to problems, and they're just not as enjoyable. And when you get them in this black primer, I'm going to show you what goes wrong with it. I got another body sitting outside waiting to come in here, and I'm going to swap bodies today. I'm going to show you what happens to this primer. And even though they tell you it's going to last, let's go outside and I'll show you. Okay guys, we're outside. This is what they call an early 7071 body. This is an older one. The quality is much better. Still comes from Onyx Ada. They were a dealer for MD1. I try and say that my restorations are Onyx Ada part free. I don't use their parts. I don't like their parts. Everything they do is just second rate. Okay, so let's walk around. Okay. Now here's a body. And I just opened up the crate. Okay, I'm going to show you what happens to this primer. Okay, now this happens, I mean, don't kid yourself, this happens on all the bodies. They say they fixed the problem, they say they've got better primer. Here we are, here on the wheelhouse. Okay. Alright, this happens on all the bodies. This is why I say don't paint over the primer. A lot of guys have been disappointed. They painted it, and if it's not sticking to the base, if it's not sticking to the body, it doesn't matter what you put on it. It's going to come flying off. Might be a month later, might be a year later, but you're going to ruin a paint job. All right, it's everywhere. This whole entire body. That's what happens to the primer. You can believe me or not, you can paint over it or not, I mean, I don't really care what you decide to do. I just want to show you what's going to happen. Now, they've said for years that they fixed this, but a body just came in for another guy. Look at this. Look at what they paint over. Okay, a body came in for another guy, and I don't know how long it had been sitting in the warehouse, but on a brand new 2020 body, I was able to do the same thing. But again, that's what they're painting over. Okay, this didn't happen. This was in a nice heated warehouse for a while. Never was outside. And that's what goes on. So, you guys got to make a decision for yourself. What you're doing or what you want to do. Look at that seam. That's already pre-rusted. Okay, it won't be long before that's popping through. So, that's basically what you'll be dealing with when you buy an MD1 body. And it doesn't matter who you get it from. You get it directly from Onyx, you get it from Willys Overland, you get it from anywhere. This is gonna happen. I've seen a lot of ruined paint jobs. You know, most guys are embarrassed and they won't say anything after it happens. But I see a lot of ruined paint jobs because this is what's going to happen to your paint. Like I say, it might not happen the first day, might not happen a month, might be 2 months later. You're driving down the road and then, whoa, there goes all your paint. So, I sandblast all my bodies, start with epoxy primer, and then do a nice job on them. But, again, this is stuff that the dealers are not going to tell you. You're not going to find this information just anywhere. Everybody wants to sell a body and then forget who you are. I'm bringing you this information, hopefully, so another person isn't disappointed with their restoration. So, like I say, it's just, you're not going to find this information. A lot of people are like, oh, I painted it and it's fine. Well, maybe you were lucky. Maybe they cleaned that body better. But 95% of them, this is what's going to happen. So, buyer beware, basically. Okay, I'm going to get these bodies swapped out. I'm going to pull the fenders and hood off that one inside. I'm going to uncrate this one. We're going to stick it on there. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit better. I can see already the fit and finish is nicer. So, we'll get this one on. I've got some real nice fenders. We're not going to use reproduction fenders. I got some real nice fenders for this project, and we're just going to keep moving along. I'll show you how this one fits as soon as I get it. Okay, guys, I got the new body on, and I'll try and get some light up here for you. This one is fitting perfectly so far. I've got it sitting on the same 1/2-inch spacers, and I've got an entire finger space here, as it should be. It's not hitting the transfer case at all. That's a good thing. The body mounts, as you see, are landing perfectly in the hat channel, and they didn't on the other one. There's plenty of room for the clutch pedal. No problems at all there. The back lines up very nice, and the other one was a real bear to get lined up in the back. You can see the primers coming off, but you know, that's actually a good thing, because when I sandblast it, it'll sandblast much easier for me. So I don't mind the primer coming off, because you know, like I say, we're not going to use that. I'm going to let it down now and show you the hood. The hood fits perfectly as it should. I don't have the fenders on yet because I still got to get those cleaned up. Some more of that rusty metal that they primed over. I still got to get the fenders cleaned up, so I don't have those on yet, but I did try the hood. It fits good. And this was sold as a 7071 body. No gas filler outlet there, so we'll have to put that in, but that's no big deal. And overall, much happier with this body than the first one. So let me let this down off the lift, and I'll show you a little bit more about it. Okay, I think you can see how nice this fits on the driver's side, where last time it was out 1/2 inch. Fits very nicely. I don't have this tightened down fully yet, but it does, you know, rocks around, but it does fit very nicely. The other side fits just the same. Once I get the grill in position, I know it's going to fit good here. It just naturally wants to fit good. Last one I really had to jack those braces around. The actual quality of the side panels is much better on this one. Let me try and get you around there. Let's walk around here. This is very nicely radiused here, as it should be. There's no deep tooling marks. The spot welds are just barely visible. They're not big, huge, deep ones like on the last one. And it's not wavy at all. I throw you down the side of that. There's no waves, so we can sandblast and start priming that. We're not going to have to put, you know, coat after coat of filler on there. Every time I peel some primer off here, you guys, you know, just know this is what's going to happen to your body when you get it. Okay, we come around the back, and this panel here, again, very straight. I'm sure I can sandblast that and lay some epoxy and some primer on that, and it'll be fine. Very happy the way things are looking on this one. And it's a gamble. You know, you buy one of these bodies, it's going to fit okay. You buy another one from what you think is a reputable dealer, and they tell you it's going to fit good, and then when it doesn't, you know, they make believe like they've never heard of that, or you don't know what you're doing, and you know, the same old story. So, like I say, it just took a little bit of time to find this body and get it shipped in, but it's going to save us many hours in paint prep. So we're way ahead of the game with this body. And like I say, if anybody's serious about body tubs or anything like that, you know, shoot me a comment below if you want the real story on these things. Like I say, very few people are going to give you this kind of information. They just basically want to sell tubs as fast as they can. And when most people get them, they don't go through the trouble to send them back. But there's some parts in here and stuff. We're gonna send his windshield back too. It's junk as well. I don't know who made that one, but that's terrible as well. And I have an original windshield that he brought me. So we're gonna get those fenders cleaned up and start continuing on with this body. I much rather put my own holes in this one rather than have holes in it already. Some guys think it's a big deal to drill a hole. You're much better off putting your own hole in. You put the pedal up there and you mark it positively where it goes and drill the hole, and you're fine. Let's look at this. Like I say, look how much space we got here. You can get your hand under there. Very nice floor panel on this one. And I don't know how they get it right and wrong on one body to the next, but this one is fitting very nice. And like I say, we're gonna put our holes in it, and obviously sandblast it when the time comes, and paint this and put a nice paint job on it that we know is going to last for many years. Okay guys, I think I went over everything I can possibly go over today for you. I hope if you're thinking about a body, you take into consideration what you're buying. If you want an early flat fender body, before you go and buy a MD1 Filipino body, if you care about the quality, get a hold of me and I will put you in touch with the proper place to get a much better body. Like I say, there's a new company. The panels are beautiful. I know you'll be happier with it than a Filipino body. Like I say, the CJ5 bodies are not available yet, but they will be coming. But I hope you take into consideration a few things I went over today. And like I say, I'm sure I'm going to piss off a lot of people. It's not my intention to beat up any companies or anything. I just want the consumer to know. I don't know anybody else bringing out videos like this that are giving you the real facts and telling you the truth about parts and stuff like that. So, like I say, this is why I don't have any friends out there in the Jeep world. Don't have any business pals or anything like that. Nobody really cares for the videos I put out because, I don't know, maybe it hurts their sales or they just don't want to be honest with their customer. I don't know what the situation is, but I do hope that you appreciate a tour of what you'll be getting when you buy one of these bodies. And like I say, paying all that extra money to have a few holes drilled and have somebody say, oh, it's going to fit, it's nonsense. I mean, if you've gone this far and you've taken your body apart and you're putting a new body on, it's not that hard to lay out a few holes and drill them. It's just not worth the extra. Like I say, by the time I got done shimming that body up, I would have had to plug every hole and drill new ones anyway. So, you know, just take all that into consideration when you're thinking of buying a body tub. If anybody has any questions, please just put a comment below. I answer all the questions. I'll do it as fast as I can. And that's all. That's about all I have for you today. So, thanks for watching. And if you like the video, subscribe or hit the like button or something like that, so more people could see the videos. And everybody stay safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next video.